Good morning, my friends. Back once again for another review. Today we're going to do my impression of the Royal Yacht mixture by Peterson. I've had it in the past. I had 1 tin of this, but it's been quite some time. The back simply says, a unique smoking experience created by the beautiful blend of yellow and bronze Virginia. I'm going to be smoking it today in my Peterson 106 with a P-lip. Now, open this up. Fold our little paper back. As you can see, it's kind of a more or less a ribbon cut. And pretty light colored, honestly. I can tell you it packs in pretty good. And it's in there fairly solid. I mean, you really got to push into it to loosen this stuff up. Fold all that back in. It just smells like straight tobacco. But like a mild type tobacco, right? I've already done the char light on this. But that's it. So let's go. Very strong. I mean, it's just straight tobacco. I have no casing on this that I can tell. All you get really is just that very strong, very much tobacco flavor, but it's like a, not really a light tobacco, but not what you would call a dark or rich tobacco. Just kind of middle of the road. That could be the color or the type of tobacco too. I mean, in terms of, like, it says golden blend. It might be because of that, but I get a lot of hay and earth. A lot of hay. Some earth, a little bit of green grass. And almost like a vinegar. The vinegar is more in the background than in the fore. Okay, it's quite a ways back there in the background, but really that's pretty much the extent of the flavor profile. Mouthfeel of the smoke is very full-bodied. but it also has an acidic character to it. You could get tongue bite pretty easy with this. Yeah. You could pretty easily get tongue bite with this if you're not careful, because the smoke has that acidic mouthfeel to it. So that tells me that tongue bite is almost imminent if you pull on this too hard. The smoke feels reasonably substantial in the mouth. Not super thick and velvety or creamy, but it definitely does have a viscosity to it. I mean, you know you have smoke in your mouth. You can feel it. So in that term, I like the smoke. Retro has a slight spice to it, and it's a lot like a black pepper spice. Yeah, it's a definite black pepper spice. So the Retro has a black pepper spice to it. But even during the Retro, you can feel that thicker smoke, and you can even feel the acidity within the smoke. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're new. The black pepper, however, I have to admit, adds a new layer to the overall and makes it more satisfying. So okay, I'll smoke this down a little bit and I'll come back to you with my final thoughts. All right, so here's the deal. There we go. Here's the deal. I'm down at about the last quarter of this bowl. Nothing changes. It intensifies, but it doesn't really change. So you've still got that really heavy hay influence, a little bit of grass, and I mean like green grass, like in your front yard type grass. Some vinegar, just a little bit in the background. You've got that peppery spice, but the Retro gets harsher as you go down the bowl. And though the mouthfeel gets less acidic as you go, the Retro gets more acidic as you go. So, I mean, it still maintains the same flavor profile throughout the entirety of the bowl. The nicotine strength on this is reasonably substantial. I'd say medium high, especially once you get down to the last part of the bowl, the last third. But it's not a bad tobacco at all. But it is really plain Jane. I can't detect any kind of a casing on this whatsoever. That vinegar, I don't know if they're using that as a means of preserving the tobacco over the length of time, but and when I say it's a vinegar taste, it's a little bit like white vinegar, but it's really far in the background and really faint. So, I mean, it's not off-putting at all. But nicotine on this is pretty good. When I was still pretty young into my pipe journey is when I used this the last time, and I don't really remember liking it. I mean, I remember liking it, but not like, oh my God, you know. This isn't bad. I would say for me, at the current point in my life, it's pretty good. It's kind of upper middle of the road. You know what I mean? It'd be really good for taking on a hike. I mean, really good for hiking tobacco, because you're not searching for the nuances. You're just puffing away, enjoying the smoke, and, you know, moving through the brush, or, you know, moving up the trail. You know, to me, that's what this would be really good for, is hiking. Nicotine is fairly strong, but, you know, upper medium, you know, medium high, it's fairly strong, but it's not enough to blow your socks off by any means. Well, not mine, but I have an extremely high nicotine tolerance from years of doing high-level Swedish snus, and probably 25 years of smoking before that. So, you know, take that part with a grain of salt, I suppose. It depends on your own personal nicotine tolerance. And because everybody's is different. And we don't do this right here for nicotine. Well, I don't. And a lot of people don't, I don't think. I think they just do it for their own peace of mind, more or less. But that is a pretty decent tobacco for just hiking, or maybe going on a quad ride once you get there and you're just kind of chilling, kicking back, enjoying the scenery, enjoying the company maybe. Room note on this is not too terribly good. It's not, the room note itself does not appear to be acidic, at least to my mind, but then I was retroing, so that could have been shot to hell anyway. It seems to me to be reasonably balanced, but I think there would be quite a few people that, if they weren't smokers and they were around you, they would probably be disimpressed, you know. So just kind of bear that in mind as you're smoking. So if you're interested in having something that people would all enjoy while you smoke, this probably wouldn't be it. But an excellent trail tobacco, if you ask me. An excellent trail tobacco. But that's all for now for this review of Peterson's The Royal Yacht. So, take care, y'all. Love y'all. Peace. I'm out.